The diplomatic chamber aboard the Valorian flagship gleamed with bioluminescent panels, casting an ethereal blue glow across the assembled delegates. Stanley Chen stood before the Council of Seven, acutely aware that he was the first human to ever receive such an honor. The Valorians, tall, elegant beings with skin that shimmered like starlight, had invited humanity to join the galactic collective, but tradition demanded a peculiar ceremony. Commander Erin Vashara stepped forward, her silver eyes fixed on Stanley with an unreadable expression. As the Valorian liaison who had spent 3 years studying Earth, she had been chosen to conduct the ritual. Her crystalline voice echoed through the chamber. "Stanley Chen of Earth, you have proven your species worthy through courage and wisdom. As is our custom for all new member races, you are granted the choosing. You may select any unmated female of our people to bond with for 1 solar cycle. This union will strengthen the ties between our worlds." Stanley's throat tightened. He'd been briefed about this ceremony, told it was a formality that most species chose based on political advantage or genetic compatibility. The Valorian women standing in a semicircle behind Erin were stunning, each one representing a different house, a different alliance humanity could forge. But Stanley had spent those same 3 years working alongside Erin. He'd watched her struggle to understand human humor, seen her eyes light up when she finally grasped the concept of a sunset's beauty. They'd shared countless late-night conversations about philosophy, music, and the peculiar loneliness of being a bridge between 2 worlds. "I choose you, Commander Vashara," Stanley said clearly. The chamber fell silent. Erin's luminescent skin flickered, a sign of shock among her people. The other council members leaned forward in their seats, antennae quivering with surprise. "Human Stanley," Erin said slowly, her composure cracking. "You misunderstand. I am the efficient. I am not among the candidates you should choose from." "I understand perfectly," Stanley interrupted gently. "And I choose you." Erin's silver eyes widened. "This is unprecedented. I am not of noble birth. I hold no political power. There are females here who could offer your species alliances with the mining guilds, the Navigators Consortium. I don't want political alliances through a forced partnership," Stanley said, stepping closer. "Isn't that the human way? To choose connection over convenience, to value the person over the advantage?" A murmur rippled through the council. The eldest member, Councillor Thane, raised a crystalline hand. "The human speaks true to his nature. Erin Vashara, what say you? The choosing, once made, cannot be refused unless the chosen is already bonded." Erin's skin pulsed with conflicting colors: purple confusion, amber uncertainty, and something else Stanley couldn't quite identify. "I am not bonded," she whispered. "But Stanley, you could have anyone. Lady Miravel would bring you access to the core worlds. Priestess Kalinda could grant spiritual authority. I am merely a scholar and soldier. What could I possibly offer?" Stanley smiled, that peculiar human expression that Erin had studied for months before understanding its warmth. "You could offer honesty, partnership, friendship. You've already given me so much. You taught me to see the universe through Valorian eyes. Maybe I could teach you to see it through human ones." "This is madness," Erin breathed. But her skin was shifting toward rose gold, the color of joy among her people. Councillor Thane stood, his ancient frame towering over them both. "Commander Vashara, do you accept this choosing?" For a long moment, Erin stood frozen. Then slowly, deliberately, she reached out and placed her 3-fingered hand against Stanley's chest, feeling the rapid beating of his human heart. "I accept," she said softly. The chamber erupted in a symphony of chiming, the Valorian equivalent of applause. Stanley felt his own heart hammering as Erin's hand remained pressed against him, her silver eyes searching his face. "Why?" she whispered, so only he could hear. "Why would you sacrifice political advantage?" "Because," Stanley replied, "humans have a saying, home is where the heart is. And for 3 years, working beside you, learning from you, laughing with you, that felt more like home than Earth ever did." Erin's skin blazed with rose gold, so bright it illuminated the entire chamber. "Your species is foolish," she said, but her voice carried a tremor of emotion. "Emotional, irrational, absolutely," Stanley agreed with a grin, "and terrifying," Erin continued. But she was smiling now, a gesture she'd learned from him. To care so much about one person that you would ignore every strategic advantage. To make yourself vulnerable for the sake of. What did you call it? Connection. Terrifying and beautiful, Stanley said. That's humanity. Counselor Thane's voice boomed across the chamber. Then let it be recorded. Stanley Chen of Earth has made his choosing. Commander Aaron Vashara has accepted. For one solar cycle, they are bonded. May this union prove as strong as humanity claims their bonds to be. As the ceremony concluded and the delegates began to file out, Aaron pulled Stanley aside into a private alcove. Her skin still glowed with that warm rose gold. You realize, she said, that in 1 year, when the bonding ends, I will likely petition to extend it. My people mate for life when we truly choose. You may have just bound yourself to a Valorian scholar forever. Stanley laughed, the sound echoing in the small space. Aaron, I've known that since the first time you asked me to explain why humans cry at happy endings. You understood us before we even understood ourselves. Aaron's hand found his again, their fingers intertwining despite the difference in their biology. Perhaps, she said quietly, this is why the galaxy needs humanity. You remind us that some choices should be made with the heart, not the head. Is that such a bad thing? Stanley asked. Aaron's silver eyes met his, and in them, he saw something that transcended species, culture, and the vast distances between stars. He saw understanding, partnership, the beginning of something neither of them had words for yet. No, Aaron said finally, I think it might be the most human thing of all, and perhaps the most beautiful. As they stood together in that moment, two beings from different worlds united by choice rather than obligation, Stanley understood what humanity truly brought to the galaxy. Not superior technology or military might, but the audacity to choose love over logic, connection over conquest, and one person over an empire of possibilities. And somewhere in the vastness of space, humanity's reputation grew not as warriors or conquerors, but as the species brave enough to follow their hearts across the stars.